And we're going to start the show talking about Bowman Transcendent. But first things first, what's going down, C-Rad?
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's safe out there.
Dan, how's it going?
What up? Just fighting through adversity.
I hear you there. Well, we've got Bowman Transcendent breaking today. It's the inaugural year of Bowman Transcendent. It carries a price tag of $22,000 per case. They've made 100 cases of it. So it's going to go pretty quick. You're only going to see it on Breakers channels for a couple weeks, and then it's going to be gone, and we're going to be waiting for the next Transcendent set. But this one's a little different because in prior years, they've done just legends and vets and upcoming rookies. This is focused on the prospects. So you've got your big names, Jason Dominguez, Bobby Witt Jr. You've got rookies, big rookies. You've got a possibility of Fernando Tatis Superfractor. So it's all about the youth, and I think this set has a lot of potential. Unlike Transcendent, where you get a Jose Canseco auto or a Pedro Martinez auto, there's nothing that Pedro Martinez or Jose Canseco can do to up the value of their cards. So as you can see here on the slide, we've got the base card design. There's going to be 50 base cards, and those are all going to be prospect-based. You got your Wander Franco, you got your Luis Robert, you've got Adley Rutschman, Joey Bart, all these upcoming stars. The auto checklist is star-studded as well. As you can see with Bo Bichette, Jason Dominguez, these are some photos from actually Rich Layton's breaks. So he did some this morning, and those are some of the cards that he pulled. And then you've got your cut autos and your Superfractors. So Jason Dominguez, 1955 Bowman Superfractor design. There's one Superfractor in every case. So it could be one of the guys in the set. Pretty good checklist. You could check that out at Topps' website. They have the buyback, and then they also have these cut autos, and the cut auto checklist is pretty amazing. There's a lot of big names on it. There's Babe Ruth. I believe there's Ty Cobb, Honus Wagner, Jerry Garcia. Lots of big cuts. I believe the Jerry Garcia was already pulled. So you're looking at a break that has, the way we're doing it today, 85 spots, $229. Everybody's guaranteed something. And there's a lot of items that are going to be worth a lot more than the spot. You got the invitation to the Bowman Party, which another breaker's offering to pay $5,000 for that invitation. That is a thing that you get to hang out with one of the players. You get a special set. You get special packs. Really cool event. Topps is obviously waiting to announce that once kind of COVID dies down or they find a way to do it. Then you have the Superfractor that's obviously going to be worth more than the spots. You have the one-of-one guarantee of either Vlad or Jordan that's going to pay for the spot. And then some of the prospects are going to do very well, too. Jason Dominguez, Bobby Witt, Adley Rutschman. Pretty good set. It's a little cheaper. It's about $5,000 cheaper than your regular Transcendents. And I've watched a couple breaks, and it looks pretty awesome. So get your spots. What's your guys' thoughts on Bowman Transcendent?
I like how it went over to the Bowman brand. Now, this is year 4 of Transcendent, and they have been coming out with more Transcendents, more variations of it. I think there's a Hall of Fame Transcendent that came out. There's the regular Transcendent that's coming out still. There's a Jeter Transcendent. There's the WWE Transcendent. There's a tennis Transcendent. I think it's going a little overboard with the Transcendent category. I would like for them, and again, this is me personally, to revamp the content that's in the case. I think they put a huge value on the sets. In the regular Transcendent, there's the base set, and there's also the sketch set, and they're numbered to. It depends on how many of the cases they would make every year. But I think they put too much. They put too much of a value on those, and I don't think the casual collector sees the value in each individual card.
Yeah.
So I would actually like for them to do away with the base sets and maybe start doing some very unique jumbo memorabilia pieces, maybe bat knobs, bat plates, stuff that they did with like the mint when they had like the batting glove cards and stuff like, and they also did the with the Ichiro Ohtani Transcendent, they did the oversized framed auto relic, which I thought was very cool. and unique. So I think they need to go through and maybe revamp it. I think it's getting a little stale at this point. We, especially with the regular Transcendence. The Bowman one kind of is going to stand on its own. It's the first time we've seen it, but the regular Transcendence, we know how they break down.
Yeah.
We go through every single base card, and there's nothing exciting. And the auto subjects, every case is exactly the same.
Well, and that's what I love about Bowman Transcendent is if you're doing it next year, you have a whole new round of players you can throw in there. And I think the thing for me, and I've always been a Bowman guy, that's my bread and butter when it comes to collecting, is that there's still hope. You may get a guy that's 15. Well, let's hope they're at least like $50, $60 in auto now. But like, what if the guy becomes the next Tatis? Then it's gone quite up significantly, and it's the first Bowman Transcendent set. So, the first Bowman Transcendent set usually holds its weight over the years, as you see with the Prism. First Prism, you could get a no-name Prism basketball, and it's the first year, so it holds some weight. So that's what I like about it, that, Pedro Martinez isn't in there for the fifth time. There's the young guys, the new guys. Now, 10 years from now, maybe 90% of these guys may not be good. Maybe it's a really good rookie class and 50% of them are good, but I think the hope is what I love, is the fact that if I get a Transcendent auto from a break or a Transcendent base card that, for one, they're only numbered to 100 on the base cards, and they're only numbered to 25 on the autos. So you have a limited item of a guy that has huge potential. That's my thoughts.
And I actually think it works well with the prospects, like what you were saying, with the legends and Hall of Famers and the vets. And they sprinkle in some rookies with the regular Transcendent as well. There's only so much they can do. You gotta get David Ortiz in the set. And you gotta get Wade Boggs in the set. You gotta get Don Mattingly in the set. You gotta get Randy Johnson. And we've gone 4 years of having, literally, with the exception of a couple rookies here and there, the same auto checklist for 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
What separates each Transcendent from itself? There's not much. That's why I like the Bowman Transcendent, is because it's a crop of autographs that we have not seen in this set yet.
Right. Absolutely. And C-Rad, what's your thoughts on Bowman Transcendent and Transcendent as a brand?
Obviously, I do like what you say about the Bowman mixing it up and not. Yeah, you guys are right. You guys are spot on about the legends that no longer can technically do anything to up their value, but with Bowman, it's always a waiting game. So that is nice. I agree that regular Transcendent, sorry, not Bowman Transcendent, but regular Transcendent has been stale. I've been watching. We've been breaking it for I've been with you guys 3-4 years now. I've been watching you guys break it every single year, and yeah, it's pretty much the auto subject is like you see the same joints over and over. I wonder, because Topps obviously sees that it is successful. They don't make a lot of cases of it with 80 to 100 a year or whatever Transcendent they're coming out with, and I think maybe with wrestling and some of these other tennis, whatever you said, they might be lower than that, lower case numbers. I wonder if they're thinking about coming out with something even more expensive than Transcendent. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm surprised and that they haven't. I know we had Eminence for basketball, but I'm not. Yeah. I'm surprised that Panini hasn't done something where they could have you. I mean, imagine having a party and being able to hang out with Zion, or being able to hang out with Giannis, or being able to hang out with KD. I mean, you could do a Transcendent style party for basketball right off the dome for the next 10 years. You could name them all in a row.
That's true.
Right? You don't even have to do rookies. You could just do Lillard one year.
Shaquille, KG.
And those, it almost seems like that would be a little, and I'm surprised it's a copycat industry that Panini hasn't thought about doing something like that.
Yeah.
And you could do it. I know I know they did Kobe Eminence, and that's obviously an iconic set, especially after the tragedy, but you could do it where it's a player theme, but then have the autos and the game use and cut autos for basketball. There could be huge cut autos. Wilt Chamberlain, George Mikan, so Pistol Pete. You open that up, and I'm surprised that Panini has it, and maybe they will. But I think that would be a better market with better upside than, say, baseball. You could do so many things with Logo Mans. They could, I know we don't want to drown out the Logo Man market, but if they made it where each basketball Transcendent, I'm only saying that, but we know it won't be named Transcendent, but let's just use that for the purpose of what we're talking about. They could put one logo man guaranteed in every case.
Well,
You know
what if what if they did a Bowman Transcendent where it was only X amount of items, but they got rid of the base set and they did it as solely a Bowman first buyback, and you put like, Trout buyback, you put Tatis buyback, you put like some of the marquee prospects that are current, and you put that as a 10-item box, and it's all buybacks. You call it the Transcendent Buyback Bowman Edition.
Yeah, I mean,
you give them an idea. I think something down the line where that definitely makes sense. But how long have they been having Bowman like as a brand, like a first Bowman prospect?
I believe 98 was the first one.
So solid.
Correct
20
me if I'm
years
wrong
already.
in the chat. I believe it's 98 as far as the first Bowman. Now, of course, Bowman, we have 49 Bowman, 50, back in the day.
Yeah.
But when it started doing the first Bowman, I believe it was around 98, and really didn't start picking up until till Ichiro and Pujols came out around the same year. That kind of gave it some legs, and then I think Strasburg, obviously, in 2010. And then, we've had Trout, we've had Harper, we've had Chris Bryant, we've had Acuna, we've had Soto, we've had Luis Robert, all these guys, list goes on. And it just keeps growing every year. You can see it on the price tag. If those guys that are around buying Bowman in 2010, you were getting hobby boxes for like $120, $130. Now you're not sniffing anything under $200, $300 for a Bowman box. You can just see the popularity and see what these cards are going for. But
you can get Bowman hobby boxes back in the day for like $70.
That's true. Yeah, 70, 80
I mean,
under $100.
when I say back in the day, I mean like 5-6 years ago, you could find the
I know, not that long.
you can find like 2008 Bowman, or 2010 Bowman Chrome up until a couple years ago was still readily available for like $50-$60.
Yep, until I think Altuve really picked up, right? So, and then was it Gary Sanchez in that one as well?
Gary Sanchez.
So, but the cut auto design this year, I know Transcendent has always kind of had weird looking cuts because they were always kind of not fitting in that big window. I know where Dan's going with this. I'm actually a fan of it. I actually like it. It's the 55 Bowman design. You can see it says color TV.
I was kind of confused. I wasn't sure what that was.
Yeah, it's a 55. Well, the 55 Bowman design is typically that, right? So they actually built a cabinet around it to make it fit. I know where Dan's going with it.
I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be nice today.
But I like the fact that you've seen some Transcendent cut autos that are like sideways and there's so much white, and it just this way, you can make the argument that maybe it should just be a regular card size because that looks like this Dwight Eisenhower that we're showing here would fit. It would probably fit on a regular card. But I think it's cool. Color TV speaks to the year 55 Bowman when Color TV was like, I think what was that around? When did The Wizard of Oz come out? Wasn't The Wizard of Oz one of the first color movies that came out?
1929?
No. Well, maybe they redid it. But the color TVs were big, obviously, in 55, so that's why you see it on the card. I think some of us remember some of these big wood TVs, even in the 80s. I think like my grandparents had this huge, like 700-800 pound TV that was just all wood and a little screen on it. So.
Console TV.
Console? Is that the?
I think it's a console TV.
You remember seeing any of those?
I might have seen them at some people's houses growing up, yeah, but not too many memories in them the old joints.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you come up with design, you don't hit it out of the park.
What's your thoughts on it? I love
it. That's it.
You just don't.
I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice.
So it's like a single.
I'm like
double.
Sometimes when you come up with a design, not everything's a home run.
Is it a inside the park home run?
It is what it is.